right off the bat you can see how fast this deck is. I use almost my entire hand on my opening draw, and I still have to discard 3 at the end of my turn from having too many cards in my hand. This and Elemental Dragons are the top decks right now, because they have some really broken cards in there. In Spellbooks, the broken card is without a doubt Spellbook of Judgment. For this deck to work, you need to use Spellbook of Judgment as soon as possible. And then you need to use at least 3 other Spellbook spell cards after using Judgment. When you use 3, you can add 3 Spellbook cards to your hand at the end of your turn, plus special summon a spellcaster from your deck with a level equal to or less than the amount of cards you added to your hand with Judgment's effect. So what you want to do is add Justice of Prophecy with Judgment's effect to the field. And with Justice, you can use his effect during the end turn that he's actually special summoned with Justice's effect. And what Justice does is he adds another Spellbook spell card to your hand, plus you can add Priestess to your hand. Priestess is like a weaker version of Dark Armed Dragon. She can special summon herself from your hand, and you can pop 1 card a turn by removing a Spellbook spell card from your graveyard or your hand to use her effect. This deck pretty much revolves around using Judgment to get a shit ton of spell cards in your hand and take out your opponent however you see fit, since the Spellbook cards all have pretty good effects in themselves. So this one I'm going against a Dark World deck. And how does this one play out? I don't think I got to use Judgment my first turn. Bring out Priestess, Judgment, copy Spellbook of Wisdom, I think, the one that lets you add cards to your hand. Spellbook of Eternity to return a card removed from play. Bring out Black Rose for no reason. He brings out Tragedy. And I add back a card to my hand thanks to Spellbook of Power's effect. And there's that +5 with Judgment. Judgment is so OP. Judgment doesn't actually activate on your opponent's turn unless you activate Spellbook cards. I just did that because he was heavy storming it. Oh wow. Triple Priestess. Bring out Big Eye, bring out Hyperion or whatever her name is. An Injection Fairy Lily. She is actually okay-ish. She's not really that great. I just love Injection Fairy Lily because I have one of my own and I used to use her all the time in real life. So yeah, that's why she's in here. She's not half bad. She can actually blow up Elemental Dragons and that stupid Dark World card with a huge amount of attack. And you can always bring her out instead of Justice if you want at the end of your turn with Judgment's effect. Alright. So this one is the one where I tried to run trap cards in my deck. I have 3 Rabakus in this one. And I don't know, I'd probably, if I was going to run trap cards, use 2 Threatening Roars, not Wabaku. Wabaku is only really good for Gladiator Beast decks, where you actually want the combat to go through. This one not so much, just in case they use a Grand Mole to pop your cards. And honestly, trap cards just slow this deck down. It's already really fast on its own, because that Judgment, I just can't say enough about that Judgment's effect. It's just crazy. And then this card has its own Premature Burial to bring cards out. It has its own Search, it has its own Spell Reproduction, it has its own Forbidden Lance that doesn't reboost attack power. And the Search cards. You can actually use a lot of rank 2 cards in here because that triple, forget his name, the one that lets you search a spell card. Wow, look at that. I think I might use my entire hand on this one. Yep. I think I'm gonna get like 10 cards back from this combo. Let's see. That's 7 or 8. I discard 3, 6, plus 3. Yeah, I got 9 cards from that. Mind you, I used my entire hand and even set down 2. So that was +9 right there. Bring out Priestess, Justice, another Priestess, Spellbook of Power to increase his attack, Spell Reproduction, increase attack by another 1,000, bring back Power, make her immune just for Just to activate a spell card, use Judgment at the end, but there's no need. The game is won. And I think this is the last one. See the combo. This is why you don't want too many traps or monsters. That way you can get the combo off on your first turn every turn. But even then, sometimes you're screwed while drawing double Veiler or something like that. That's why you don't want more than 2 copies. You don't want too many monsters in your deck. Why did I bring out Fairy Lily? Oh yeah, because Justice was out already. Priestess to pump Grand Mole, Judgment, and Spellbook Chain. There isn't really much you can do to stop this. Is this gonna be an OTK? Yep, looks like it, because Fairy Lily is out. She can hit for 34,000.